Welcome back into Daytime Alabama. We continue to tour the Coleman County Museum.
And, you know, there's so many examples here of people who had to get their hands into the soil
early pioneers
to work their land. Well, people are still getting their hands into the soil, especially if they want to landscape their homes in a pretty way for the fall. I searched out Master Gardener Richard Healy for some tips. I'm here with Richard Healy, and people want to know how to keep the fronts of their houses pretty and blooming and colorful in the fall as well as in the spring and in the summer. What can you recommend for them?
Well, one of the things I'm big on is I'm more into perennials than I am annuals. And here in Alabama, we have a lot of great things that we can plant. Fall is a great time to plant things.
And a lot of people don't realize that. They think they got to plant in the early spring, don't
Exactly.
they?
And with our hot summers, fall is actually a better time to plant. Your plants have enough time to establish themselves, there's still enough water around, and you can get a lot of color out of it.
Yeah, show me some of the stuff that you got going here.
So some of the plants that I have here is these are actually in pots, which will soon go in the ground, are asters. Asters is a fall blooming plant. There actually are asters that naturally grow in Alabama. Then, of course, there are hybrids like this. Great time to plant them because, again, as I said, we've got good weather. They'll give you fall color. They'll get established, and then they'll come back year after year after year. I'll consider myself somewhat of a lazy gardener, meaning I like perennials because a little bit of effort you put them in 1 year, you get the rewards for years to come.
You probably got a lot of company on that lazy part, too, believe me. How about some of the other stuff? This is such a beautifully landscaped area here in your front yard.
Well, one of the things I like is you can see I like texture, so I like textures in leaves and in colors and also in dimensions, you know. And so actually you've got your typical green, and they'll remain green all year round. But down here I've got plants that will actually bloom in the spring, okay?
Right.
But what you do is, again, you establish them in the fall, you get them going, and then in the spring you're going to get the flowers.
So your hedge plants are what?
The hedge plants, those are compacta hollies,
okay,
and they'll remain green all year round. So you don't necessarily want something in the front of your house that's going to go dormant, because it's all of the whole house being dormant. It's going to look kind of odd.
And then the layer below them is what?
That's Indian hawthorn. And that actually gets either a white or a slightly pink bloom in the spring.
Really pretty.
Yeah, really pretty. And then, of course, I've got juniper here, which, of course, will be green as well all year round. And then actually down lower, which is kind of hard to see, but I've got loropetalum, or what a lot of people call monkey grass. And that, as many people know, also get blooms in the spring as well. They remain green. So you can see there's a bunch of different textures, colors, shapes. And then, of course, you get the various different plant in colors in here. And then up here, I've got gardenia. Okay, again, it'll stay green all year round, but of course, it gets the mostly spring flowers. Although these gardenias here, and a lot of hybrids that are coming along now, sort of like some of our new azaleas, will bloom much longer. Those gardenias, once established, will bloom from spring till fall.
Now, how much maintenance for a yard that looks like this? Are you a slave to your front yard, or does this stuff kind of take care of itself?
No, and that's the nice thing about it. Again, going back to a lazy gardener, you can see there's a little bit of mishap here because there was a big cedar that I had taken out.
Right.
But again, with perennials, the big thing is spending some time with them when you're getting them established. So the time of year and the watering is important. Fall's best. Once you get them established, like these plants up here, I may be trimmed 2 or 3 times a year.
Oh, that's great. Boy, you're getting off a lot easier than a lot of people would have thought. Richard Healy, thanks so much for the tips.
All right, thank you.
Well, I would hate to be his neighbor because that's a hard act to follow. That property
really
is so beautiful the way he's got it. And Richard wants everybody to know he's available for lectures. He'll come to your civic group or your local organization and talk to you about gardening and all kinds of tips.
All right, just a reminder, Oktoberfest is going on all this week in Coleman. Coming up, we're going to get the 411 on all the events.
The 411. Stay with us.